Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today I'm going to tell you all about this new palette from LORAC. It's called the California Dreamin' palette, and just look at this box that it comes in. How cute is this? This is the outer packaging. I love all these little emojis. They're not really emojis, but that's what they remind me of, and oh man, I love it. Here's what the palette looks like. It has all these cute little pictures all over the front, they're all over the back, they're on the inside too. I think this is so cute. I love this. I'll try to show you the inside without blinding you, but you can see the little emojis are all around the mirror too. Nice mirror. This is a cardboard packaging. Typical for LORAC. It's nice and slim, but it still feels sturdy. I purchased this palette on Ulta's website. It was $30 and the net weight is 9.72 grams. It comes with 12 shadows, and they all have these cute names. They're supposed to be inspired by California winter. I've never lived in California in the winter, but I am feeling these shades. There's a nice mix of warm and cool tones in here. We've been seeing a lot of warm tone palettes lately, which, I mean, I love warm tone eyeshadow, so I'm not complaining, but I do feel very excited by seeing something a little bit different. I am wearing a lot of these shadows on my eyes today, so if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you how I got this eye look. I'm gonna swatch all 12 shades for you, and I'm gonna do a finger swatch and a brush swatch of each shade. For my brush swatches, I'm just gonna use this flat shader brush from e.l.f., and in between each swatch, I will clean it off on my Veramona color switch. We're starting with the top row: Sandcastle, Button, Overcast, and Bonfire. Okay, here are the swatches. This is Sandcastle. It's an icy, kind of shimmery white. This is the finger swatch, and then here's the brush swatch. It's not showing up nearly as intense on camera as it looks in person, but this is the shade that I have on my inner corners, and I feel like it's really poppin'. This is Button. It's kind of a satiny, warm nude color. Here is Overcast. This is a really unique color. It's kind of a grayish lavender. And look how pigmented this is in the brush swatch. This is a matte shade. I mean, really? Look at that. The very last shade is a cool toned pale pink, and it's called Bonfire. We are moving to the second row now. We have Hot Toddy, Starfish, Seaside, and Cable Knit. Here are the swatches again, finger swatches on top and brush swatches underneath. This is Hot Toddy. It's a matte, and it's kind of a rosy, dusty rose kind of color. Second, we have Starfish, and this is a satin. It's a peachy, it's a really soft peach color, and it's so beautiful. I love this shade. Next we have Seaside, which is a very deep olive green, and it does have some like gold glitters in it. And the last one is Cable Knit, and this is an eggplant color. It's a deep purple with some brownish undertones. Just look at the pigmentation on that. Seriously, that brush swatch is one swipe. Look at it. Crazy. Here is the last row. We have Cozy, Boots, Kitty Cat, and 65 Degrees. Here are the swatches. This is Cozy. It's a peachy, I mean, for me it's kind of a skin tone color, and it's a matte. This is Boots. It is a very deep satiny navy blue. This color right here, this is Kitty Cat. Oh my goodness. Look at this brush swatch. Look at that. This is the most metallic, foiled beautifulness. This is probably my favorite shade in the palette. And last, this very subtle shimmery pink is 65 Degrees. Before I go into too much detail about the shadows themselves, I want to talk a little bit about the way this palette is laid out. I think it was really thoughtfully done, and if you are somebody that looks at this and is like, oh, I don't know what to do with this palette, let me show you how this is laid out, because I think this is intentionally really easy to use. Each row is kind of like a quad, and then each column could be used as a trio. So if you look at how these shades each relate to each other, either in a row down or a row across, you could get a really beautiful cohesive look out of each quad or trio here. So here is, you know, your more toned down daytime look. You could just put a little bit of this shade in the crease or smudged on the lower lash line, and then blend out with Cozy and put a little bit of Sandcastle all over the lid. Super easy. Over here, you have this really deep blue. You could kind of deepen the outer part of the eye, smudge under the lash line. Then here you have your crease color, and then you could do like a subtle brow bone highlight or inner corner highlight. Each of these rows works together so beautifully. I just think this was a genius way to lay out this palette. Okay, let's talk formula now. These remind me so much of the Pro palettes. I haven't done an ingredient comparison, so I don't know if they're the same formula, but it's that really super pigmented, creamy, just when you touch it, you can feel the buttery texture. And when you dip a brush in, you do get a lot of powder kick up because they're so creamy, they're so pigmented. So you just want to be careful, tap off your brush, you'll be fine. I am really, really impressed with the way the mattes apply with a brush. I do think that the shimmer shades are better applied with a finger, but as you'll see in the demo at the end, if you use a flat packing brush, you can get a lot of bang for your buck out of the shimmer shades as well. Overall, I think this palette is absolutely worth every penny of the $30, from the packaging to the pigmentation. Just, I love, this is my new favorite palette. I just used it for the first time, but I'm already in love with this palette. I'm hooked. I highly recommend this. I can't say enough good things about it. If you want to see how it performs, just keep watching to the end, and I will do a little demo of how I got my eye look today. I really wanted to try something different with this green on the lower lash line, so I hope you enjoy that look. Let me know what your thoughts are on this palette. Have you picked it up? Do you plan on picking it up? Are the shades exciting you as much as they are me? Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Let's play with some eyeshadow. I'm starting off with this matte shade, Cozy, all over the lid with a fluffy brush, and then I'm taking this shade Starfish, and I'm putting that only in the upper crease area. This is going to lend some warmth to the look, and I'm just using a flattened fluffy brush and putting that in the upper crease. Next, I'm moving on to the shade Hot Toddy, and I'm going to put that all over my eyelid, and I'm also going to blend it kind of into the lower crease so that it has a smooth transition with the shade Starfish. Now we are going to move on to Cable Knit. This shade is really dark, really pigmented, and I'm taking my time here. I'm showing this in real time so you can see I'm being very deliberate with this shade because it is so pigmented. You just want to take your time, blend it slowly, and make sure you know where you're putting this one because it is dark. I'm just using the brush with no extra product on it and blending everything together. Now for my favorite part, this is the shade Kitty Cat. This shadow is just foiled glittery goodness. I'm using a flat packing brush to dab this all over the lid. I'm not really wiping here, I'm just kind of pressing down to deposit that color, and I am going to go back with kind of a second coat over the lids just so that I can get it really intense. You could also use some Fix Plus or something to foil this, but honestly I think 2 layers is just amazing on its own. Now I'm going back with a little bit more of that deep eggplant shade called Cable Knit, and I'm just adding a little bit more depth to the outer corners, not adding too much there, and then using a brush with no extra product and making sure there aren't any harsh edges at all there. Now I'm using a little bit of the shade Hot Toddy and just blending out the upper crease area. And I'm using Cozy as my brow bone highlight, just sort of sweeping that around, making sure I don't have any harsh lines there. Now for the inner corner highlight, I'm using the shade Sandcastle on a teeny tiny little flat brush, and I'm just packing that around the inner corner of my eye. I'm also going to do 2 layers of this one, just so that highlight will be really, really bright. I love a super bright inner corner highlight. For the lower lash line, I'm just going to put a little bit of the shade Hot Toddy down first. This will help our green color blend out, and it also adds a little bit of warmth to that lower lash line. And I'm going to use the shade Cable Knit on a small angled brush and just smudge that along the upper lash line, sort of like a smudgy liner look, but I think this just looks really soft and doesn't compete with the lower lash line. Now I have ColourPop's pencil liner in the shade Fast Lane. You can see I use a brush to pull down on my lower lid so that I don't disturb any of the concealer that's already under there. And this took a little building up. Now I'm going to use Seaside, and I'm just going to smudge that out with a really small little kind of flattened pencil brush. Just smudging out that green a little bit, and then I'm ready to move on to my lashes, doing a little curl here, and then I'm going to use my tinted lash primer from Benefit and top that off with a little bit of their Real mascara from Benefit. I really like this combo, gives me really fluffy lashes, and I'm just using this little lash comb from Real Techniques to make sure they're all nice and separated. And that's the finished look. I had so much fun with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.